This week on TalkCDL.
How soon up to the test? Like before the test, what was the time lapse?
The day of.
Wait a second. You did drugs on the day?
Yeah, I did drugs and walked in and pissed in a bottle.
Genius.
Sit back and enjoy an interview with a trucker on heroin.
I love that.
Yeah, well, we're not going to start doing stupid laughs like that.
Why not? I love that laugh.
All right, listen. We are officially live.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
I did. I said we're officially live. What does that sound like? Does it sound like anything else?
Right on, dude.
All right.
Sounds like we're live.
We've got Johnny Acid with us.
Acid in the house.
Acid in the house. And we've got today with us our mystery man. His name is...
Mr. Brownstone.
Mr. Brownstone. We're just going to go with Mr. Brownstone.
You're going to find out why real quick.
You're going to find out why. We've got a young man here with us. He's a truck driver. He's got, Mr. Brownstone, how much experience you got?
1 year and 1 day.
Acid, you get a laugh out of me calling him Mr. Brownstone, aren't you?
Love it.
Well, how do you know his name really ain't Mr. Brownstone?
Believe me, he's been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. Trust me.
Johnny Acid, you'd recognize, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we're like brothers, man.
He was there.
He was there. I hear you. All right, so anyways, here's the gist of this. TalkCDL, we kind of talk about everything in trucking. Acid, everything in trucking. We don't hold anything back. And today we have a...
lot lizards, you name it.
He's not a lot lizard, but I don't...
Retired.
I don't want to say it's a treat for you guys, but, TalkCDL is trying to always break boundaries. And Mr. Brownstone here is... How old are you, Mr. Brownstone? Tell everybody.
33.
33. And Mr. Brownstone drove for a year, and Mr. Brownstone is not driving tractor trailer anymore. So, Mr. Brownstone, would you like to tell everybody here, without naming trucking companies, because we're not going to do that. All right. Mr. Brownstone. Mr. Brownstone.
I love that.
Mr. Brownstone. All right, Mr. Brownstone, why are you not driving tractor trailer? You can't drive right now, right?
Can I?
Nobody. First off, nobody will even give you a shot right now, right?
No.
And it's not because you had an accident.
No, I had the highest safety rating in my fleet for 3 months straight. Unfortunately, doing narcotics will get you in a lot of trouble and you'll lose everything.
Right. And we talked about this in the past before, Acid, and Ruth Ann was with me. And actually, to be honest with you, I'm really glad he came on. Mr. Brown, so first off, thank you for coming on, kid.
Takes a lot of courage.
I mean
Thank you for having me.
I mean, in all honesty, like Acid and I, we blow stupid stuff about on the air here about us all the time, and usually it's true stuff. But you're coming on authentically. You're not a clown like the two of us, and you're willing to pour your heart out. And I think you had told me maybe it can help somebody else.
Absolutely.
In trucking, because I mean I've seen this a million times, and I'll tell a story or two. And everybody's probably going, what's going on? Narcotics, blah blah blah. What is he talking about? Well, you failed a random drug screen. Was it a random or was it a pre-applied?
It was a pre-screen for a good trucking.
Dude, you should have dropped acid. I don't think they checked for that.
The thing is if my story can inspire somebody to stay on the right path and not screw up their career, that's what I would like to have happen.
Okay.
That's admirable.
But it's actually really funny and tragic at the same time. So
you went to school and you went to a trucking company, but you put in, and you did something that I do admire. Okay, is you went to your first trucking company and tell everybody how long you stayed there.
6 days.
Your first trucking company. Is he stoned now?
Nope, 6 days. I got there on the 31st, and I was 6 days later on a truck with a trainer.
Wow.
I know. How long did you stay working for the trucking company?
Oh, you're talking about that.
He's like 6 days.
I just said 1 year, 1 day.
He's on drugs, dude. He's on drugs.
I said in the beginning.
Is he on drugs?
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Loaded. Bush pounders.
Wasted.
All right, so Mr. Brownstone, you like that, don't you? You like how I really adapted to the name?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Axel will be proud.
Yeah, Mr. Brownstone. I actually like saying it.
I love it too.
Got a good.
All right, Mr. Brownstone. So you stayed at your first trucking company for 1 year, and this is what I was getting at. I actually admire that. I'm going to tell you why. Most drivers get their CDL, and they have 2 to 5 jobs their first year. A lot of them go into contracts with new companies for their CDL, and they don't honor it. They quit going looking for it. I'm not putting those guys down. I'm just saying you did something that I always really, my advice to every driver is put up, if you can do a year.
Always do a year. Minimum of a year.
Yeah.
Well, don't ever do less.
And let's be honest. I mean, you got your ups and downs, but you went there and you stayed, and you were an over-the-road guy, you know what I mean? And you did your thing. And congratulations for that. But then, so you end up saying, how did you end up quitting? Did you just think that you were going to go find a different job because of money or maybe home time? Why did you quit your first job?
The company basically kept me on the hook for about a month waiting for another position. So
what do you mean waiting for another position?
Well, I asked if I can go back over the road from going to from a local position to back to over the road, and they left me hanging for a while because they did not trust me to keep the job because most people flake out after their contract's up. So.
You love trucking too, don't you? You love being a truck
I absolutely
driver.
love it. It was a great experience. Got to see the entire country.
Let me ask you something then. I mean, you were really, really flying high. You were well on your way. Great driver and everything. Hell happened, man. What were you thinking? Shoot up a little or whatever you did. I don't know what you did.
Did you say he was flying high?
He was flying high. Yeah, literally. I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but I mean, like, what are you thinking, dude?
Hey, Mr. Brownstone.
Is I thought I can get away with doing a urine analysis by drinking lots of water and flushing my system.
Oh, yeah, that'll
you
work.
went with the myth.
The day of.
You went with the myth.
Yeah.
You know, there's many myths.
The myth doesn't work. You can't fool a, what do they call it, gas chromatography. There's Salt Lake City.
Listen,
they will get you.
There's a lot of methods to not get pregnant, too. Do they work?
Well, no, every year analysis, every drug test, that you take from major companies goes to Salt Lake City. They have the best testing centers there are. You cannot beat them.
Hey, do you guys have a hair follicle
They tell
test?
you, don't do that either. That's ridiculous.
Just so everybody's not too confused, because I said you did OTR for the whole year. You were OTR, and then you got some local. How long were you on the local position?
3 months.
Okay, so you were OTR for like 9 months, and then you went local for 3, and then you requested to go back over the road.
Yep.
But they never got that for you.
They were keeping me hanging around for about a month.
Okay, so you said, all right, screw this. I'm out of here. I'm going to go to a new trucking company. So you quit, and you go back to what state were you going to?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. That's where you're originally from, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. So you apply with a trucking company. In the meantime, you had done what did you fail the pre-employment drug screen for? What was it?
They came up for morphine.
Morphine. Okay, so what were you doing? What was you were doing just straight morphine? What were you doing?
No, it was the two things converted into morphine: codeine and heroin.
Oh, okay. All right. So
codeine was what I had taken.
So you had taken some codeine.
Tylenol 3s.
Right. Okay. So you and how just so everybody knows, how soon up to the test? Like before the test, what was the time lapse?
the day of.
Wait a second. You did drugs on the day?
Yeah, I did drugs and walked in and pissed in a bottle.
Genius.
Yeah, talk about bright, right?
Oh my God.
Hey man, don't listen.
Stay away from it.
I don't mean to beat you up, dude. I've been to.
Yes, he does.
Listen,
You do.
I've been to Club Fed, dude. So,
You can call Johnny Acid John.
I air out all my dirty laundry on anything for the show, anything for the ratings, brother. I didn't get the name Johnny Acid for no reason. Let's just say that, okay? I'll get that right out.
All right, so Mr. Brownstone. Yeah, I don't think I could say that too many times. Try saying it.
Say it fast 3 times.
You've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone.
All right, so anyway, he's been knocking.
He won't leave me alone.
All right. So anyways, Mr. Brownstone.
You guys should do something with that.
Mr. Brownstone. All right, so there you are. You got a year of experience. You go to this new trucking company in Pennsylvania, and you almost blew my mind when you said you actually did the codeine on the day of. Why couldn't you? I mean, were you just hooked on it or something that you couldn't wait till after you pissed in the bottle?
I figured it wouldn't metabolize fast enough to go into my system, and basically was stupid, retarded.
You should have just told him you had a poppy bagel, dude.
No, that doesn't work. They look at you like you're out of your mind.
He chased it down with a Red Bull.
They're
or
not
something.
stupid. They can see it.
Wow. I mean, that does suck. I mean,
it sucks because I was working there for 2 weeks before I got the results. And when I was getting off of work, I got the call from Salt Lake City. And they're like, hey, just so you know, you failed and your life's over.
And it was a local job, man. Like a dream
local,
job.
It was salary. It wasn't necessarily a dream because I wanted to go back over the road where the money is. But yeah, don't do drugs.
Wow.
Great advice.
Well, hey, Mr. Brownstone, this is my next question. I mean, because I want to dig into this. Because it's a very interesting tale of events here that led up to this. Because there's many of our drivers out there, okay, that maybe they know somebody. Maybe there's one of our drivers listening right now that may be taking chances. I don't know. I've got a story I want to tell here in a second, but I got a question for you. When that whole year that you were driving over the road, were you? I mean, I have to say this, and don't take this the wrong way. I would find it hard to believe that the entire year that you were driving your tractor trailer, if you're into this stuff, I wouldn't believe that you were sober the entire year. I would believe that you probably did some.
Yeah, no, the first 7 months I was a good boy, and then got kind of bored. Talked to some people. You can get kind of bored driving a 44,000-pound load down the street.
Let me just jump in. Let me jump in here for a second, because you and I, Troy doesn't understand how it works, man.
Yeah,
I'm willing to bet that you drove better when you were away.
Oh yeah, man. At least you think you do. The wheels were all intact. I got there on time. So
did you ever smash a dock?
No.
How many?
I had no. My record is flawless.
Now here's the other question.
I got awards.
Well, I mean, and I would say you have no fear because these companies do randoms all the time.
Yeah. They I think if you go in there and you're clean cut and you present yourself in an orderly fashion, I think you get a little bit of a slide sometimes.
They're all looking in the camera going, clean cut, huh?
Yep. Yeah, not right now. Not right now. Yeah.
No, so, all right, so 7 months, your first 6 or 7 months, you said you were sober, everything's good. All of a sudden, trucking got boring, needed a little pick-me-up.
No, actually, I brought the woman on the truck.
That's it.
See, that's
it was the chick.
We brought the girl on there.
The chick drags you down,
spice things up a little bit, and
Women always drag you into the pit of hell, don't they?
There we go.
It happens every time.
So you brought a chick on board. Was this your wife? What was this?
This is my girlfriend that I met online.
Mrs. Brownstone.
Going to the school. Yeah, we were talking. Well,
it would be Mrs. Brownstone.
Yeah, Mrs. Brownstone. Absolutely. Right. I corrupted her,
So the Brownstones are trucking now, 7 months into your career. You're bored, and you want to spice it up a little bit.
She's like, "Hey, how about some cocaine?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
sounds like a great idea." Did you get her? Hey, did you get her off the lot, dude?
No, actually, she kind of kept the lot lizards away. They definitely. There's a funny story to that one too.
I'll bet.
So she was a good girl. She wasn't a lizard.
Yeah, if you meet a girl and she comes on the truck with you and she can tolerate your ass for 2 weeks straight
while you're doing coke.
While you're doing coke, that's
driving.
a keeper.
And driving.
You put a ring on it, you take her home, you marry her.
Are you still with her?
If she gets on the truck and she nags once about wanting to pull over to go pee after 10 minutes ago, you just did it. Get rid of her.
Or if she gets pissed off about the lines on the mirror.
Yep, put her in the sleeper.
Forget that.
Are you still with her, dude?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's love, man.
That is love. I'm telling you. That sounds like true love.
Yeah, she's better than half the lot lizards out there. So
half the lot lizards. All right, so only half the lot lizards.
You're comparing. The other half are better.
You're comparing her to a lizard, dude.
$10 will get a meth head to do some wild stuff.
Yeah. So. Wow. I mean, in all honesty, we joke about this, but now you are, and really now you have to take what's called the substance abuse program or the SAP.
Correct.
So have you done that yet?
No, I have not.
So now, obviously, this is by law, and there's companies that'll probably still hire you, but they're supposed to see that SAP program before they get you back into the truck. Are you finding anybody that would give you a shot since you've failed it? Usually the answer is no.
Yeah. There's actually there is hope for people that do mess up their life and want to get it back. You can actually there are trucking companies out there that will take you if you completed the SAP program. There's actually people that have failed multiple times and are still driving because they completed it multiple times. So there is hope for people out there, but it doesn't give you a reason to go out and do stupid shit like that.
Second chance transport.
You might not believe this, but my buddy used to work for Cola. And they had, and these were local route guys. They had guys that failed, for weed and stuff 2 and 3 times, and they would put them through programs and keep them.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Really?
Absolutely.
So there is hope for the lad?
No, there definitely is.
That's cool. There is. Union companies.
A lot of money to be made in trucking. I wish I would have done it many years ago.
Dude, did they test for acid?
I think there's 5 things they test for. Weed, narcotics.
It's acids from the 70s. Nobody does it anymore,
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like finding real stuff.
Yeah.
All
right. So you got to take the SCP program. Now, this is generally what I'm hearing, and I know there's people that will give you a chance, Mr. Brownstone.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brownstone. And anyways, there's people that will give you a chance, but if we're being honest, it usually is after 3 years. That's what I'm hearing. I don't see many, and there are some companies. I believe you'll find one. I just know that the more desperate you become, usually the worse the company is you have to work for.
Yeah, they're going to use that to their advantage to pay you less, probably.
Yeah,
you're going to have to start from the bottom and work your way back up to the top, like you said, for 3 years, because you don't want more than a few jobs in 3 years, anyways, because your driving record and everything, the companies you work for is a reflection of you. So that's very important to maintain. Otherwise, you're going to be like a lot of people out there looking for jobs and can't find one.
Question, Troy.
Go ahead.
if you don't take the SAP like right away, right after it happens,
right,
and there's a gap, does that affect you? Like the longer it
makes
takes?
it worse.
With some companies, absolutely. Some companies are like, why didn't you take it right away?
Well, I mean, a lot of guys are broke.
Most of them want you to, yeah.
A lot of guys are broke. They can't find a job.
Yeah,
like,
the thing
are
is
you working, dude?
Listen, here's the bottom line with this. What happened to Mr. Brownstone, and this is being honest, you fail the drug screen, and then you lose your job. And like you said, then you're broke. And once you become broke, one of the last things you're trying to do is go pay a program. You know what I mean? You're trying to now survive and pay your bills. And it does get really bad for you. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying in any way I have pity for you, but I am saying, you're coming on the show here and pouring your heart out and letting people know basically you're saying it was a really stupid thing to do with your career.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that CDL is in your pocket. That's like a degree. So I guess the drug has that much of a grip on somebody that they're willing to do the damn drug and convince them. Let me tell you this story. I had a driver, literally, this is over 10 years ago. I was working for a company in Minnesota. This guy fails the drug screen. And I asked him, I said, what the hell happened, dude? It was coke. Why didn't you just wait till the following week to come in? And he said, man, I'm sorry. I met a couple girls on the bus.
Oh, that dude.
On the way in. I'm like,
a couple of hookers.
So it's almost like your story, Mr. Brownstone.
That is true, because I actually got a Klonopin on the bus.
Right. I said to this dude, I said, so you did drugs on your way to do a drug screen? He goes, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, so my question to him and to Mr. Brownstone, does it really pull on you that much that you were willing to risk your whole freaking career over it?
The way it normally works is you have people that do drugs and they lose everything, and then you have people that can somewhat maintain a lifestyle and do drugs, but that's very few in between. Thing is I thought I could beat the system like I've done in the past because I'm really thin and I can do things that other people normally can't do. But unfortunately, I was wrong and learned a valuable lesson from that.
What do you think about that, Acid? Some people can do drugs and maintain a certain lifestyle.
Well,
there's a lot of
or is
people
it they think they can? What's up with that? I just want to know.
You tell me. I'm on the show.
Yeah.
Am I maintaining?
No, put this way. I lived a double life for many years.
Drugs?
I was doing presentations to conference centers for the steel industry and stuff like that, and I was high as hell.
Yeah, you could come to. You know what? Instead of being a guest, maybe you should come to work for Troy. There's no drug test, dude.
Oh,
trust me.
Yeah, we don't drug screen you here. We'd never get anybody to work here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the pay's real cheap.
It really is. Yeah.
All right, so I mean, even though you didn't really come right out and say it, I think I understand a little better. I think that drug is just one of the. In fact, I guess America's under an epidemic right now in being gripped with heroin. Is like Mr. Brownstone. How much does a bag of heroin cost on the street? For real,
$10.
It's 10. I thought it was a little less. So it's 10.
Well, depending on where you're at. Yeah, if you're white and middle aged and all that stuff.
Well, hold on. Isn't there like China white?
If you're down in like say New Jersey and stuff, and you're homeless, they'll charge you $3 for it probably.
$3.
Yeah, for homeless because that's might all you have. Right?
It depends on what you make. It depends on who you are. If you don't look like you're strung out and stuff, they usually won't sell to you. If you look like you're clean cut, they think you're a cop. So I mean, depends on who you are really and where you live. Depends on the price.
Interesting.
Wow.
That is interesting. So now, how much in that bag do you get for $10?
I don't know. I'd say it's usually 0.1 of a gram.
Is it only for one time, or do you get many uses out of one bag?
Well, somebody without a tolerance, it could potentially kill them. But if you have a tolerance, you can end up doing upwards of 6-7 of those at a time.
So what do you do? Do you
$70?
6-7 bags at a time?
You snort it, smoke it, shoot it? What do you do, man?
You can do whatever you want. You can shove it up your ass. You can do
well, yeah, but what was your preference?
I think we know.
Intravenous.
He just said.
Really? So you did the needle?
Absolutely.
That's
go big or go home?
That's what I hear. That's the big, isn't it?
Wow.
That's direct.
Yeah, that's right to your main pipes there.
Now, back in the day, they used heroin, which was the white horse. There was an epidemic back in the 70s and 80s. Okay, and people were ODing like freaking crazy. Are they ODing on it still? Or
yeah, they're actually it's more dangerous nowadays because people are actually sticking something called fentanyl in there, and it's killing people.
It's a lot stronger now, too,
people that have no tolerance, 3 grains of salt equivalent of fentanyl could kill them.
And there you are admitting that there was many trips in an 80,000-pound tractor trailer going down the road with heroin in you.
Yeah.
And
it has an opposite effect to me. It seems to bring me up than bring me down, like most people. It gives me energy.
Listen, I want to tell you something. A guy in the church once, I took him to a Narcotics Anonymous, right? And I sat in on this group with them, and everyone there was saying they don't take it to get high. They take it to normal out. To level themselves off. Because once you use it once or twice, you're really only trying to get back up to being normal, not even high. Is that correct?
Yeah, so basically, when you start it off, it's like the honeymoon phase. It's great. You're euphoric. Everything's awesome. Next thing you know, in order to feel normal, you have to take it. Otherwise, you're extremely sick.
It takes a lot of courage to come on here, man, and give good advice to these young drivers who might think it's not a big deal.
The truth is the truth, Hey, it is what it is.
Mr. Brownstone, originally, I was really going to make fun of you a lot. Just being honest, but you know what? I think
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I'll let Acid do that. But I mean, I'm being honest with you, man. Bring it, he said. but I'm being honest. I do. And a lot of people right now are probably hating you and thinking you're a jackass because you were driving stoned. But
right,
you know what? You're not anymore. And you're here to say, hey, let me ask you this. Are you saying, hey, I screwed up bad?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're not here. You're not bragging about it.
No.
I don't hear bragging in your voice at all.
No, not at all. I enjoy to get high, but I don't enjoy destroying my life and my career. So I need to get back to where I was, and
I think it's great that you're coming on here and maybe saving some lives, not just the trucker, but maybe somebody else on the road, even if you are an idiot.
Yeah, you don't want to kill a family of 4 with your 80,000 pound load truck.
Right.
Acid.
Oh, by the way, what kind of trailer were you dragging? Mr. Brownstone.
I was a what?
Reefer.
He was pulling reefer.
I'll tell you what, when
you
smoke reefer, you should pull reefer, because if you get the munchies, dude, you just open the back door.
No, there's no way I could smoke. No. See, the thing is, I never did any drug or anything that stayed in your system longer than like 72 hours, because if you get randoms or whatever.
But if you're doing it every day,
no, it's still, it literally is still
5 minutes before the
hours.
test.
It really is. Yeah, like exactly. Right when I walk in the door, I'm blowing lines. Yeah, don't do that.
It's probably not a good idea. Wow. He's blowing lines off the steering wheel.
So I'd advise not doing that.
Now, where would you buy this stuff at truck stops? Now, let's get into that a second. Is it fluent there at truck stops? Can you really get it at
Actually, it came to a point where I was like, you know what? I want to see how many drugs are out there, and I couldn't find a single thing out there. Nothing.
You serious?
Nothing at the truck
How
stops?
are you getting the drugs?
Substance.
How are you getting
Where'd
the
you
drugs?
get them from?
Well, the instance with the switching companies and then failing the pre-screen.
No, after the 7 months, like when you started doing them because you were bored with your chick.
Like I said, we brought the girl on. We wanted to have,
right.
Probably take some ecstasy and make, passionate love, in the sleeper for 9 hours straight. But you know what?
I just puked in my mouth, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We didn't do that. We're just trying to excite ourselves a little bit with some fun.
Oh, there goes more puke.
Oh, hey, I've got a question for you. You said you were taking a local job, so I'm guessing you might have been back to your old stomping grounds.
I went back home where I lived in Pennsylvania. And,
so you were getting it off your old buddies.
Met up with the dude, and
the dude. So the dealer, the dude. I met up with the dude. No, that's cool. So you actually never really found any drugs out on the road?
No, actually, it was really hard. Actually, there was a bar that we went to, and they were so scared that we were cops that they actually gave us the drugs for free. So I thought that was kind of funny.
That's too funny.
They wouldn't even take my money. They're like, no, you can just have it. I was like, okay. Sure.
Wow. Acid, you got something else?
Like I said before, man, you should have dropped acid. They don't check for it.
Could you imagine driving a truck?
I've been in a car on acid, dude. Let me tell you something. During a snowstorm, a blizzard, you think you're going like 100 miles an hour. It's like you feel like you're flying through the universe on the Starship Enterprise when they hit the warp speed, dude.
Oh, I got something to tell you. One time I was high that I actually made a big mistake, and it was very embarrassing.
What'd you do?
I was pulling into a distribution center. I won't say the company, but
right.
The truck had a blown fuel line, and fuel was dumping all over the floor. So they wanted me to disconnect the trailer so that the guy can come out and take it back into the facility, because they wouldn't allow the truck in. So I get out and I start cranking the landing gear down, and something told me to put it back up and then pull the fifth wheel and then drive away. So now I dropped the trailer fully retracted, and I'm trying to jack it back up before anyone noticed. And I'll tell you right now, that's a pain in the ass to do. Is
like you were wasted.
Put
or
a
what?
42,000 pound load back up.
That kind of contradicts. I was like spot on when I was high.
Yeah, that was really tight. Like, and the guy was like, the guy that did see, he's like, I don't know what you're doing, buddy. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing either. So yeah,
wow.
Don't do drugs and drive.
Oh my gosh.
Bad mix, dude.
It's very embarrassing if you make a mistake like that.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Like when I hear stories like this, it angers me And again, I'm not angry at you personally.
Oh, I would.
I'm just saying it angers me knowing that I've got daughters and wives, and we've all got kids, and
You just said wives, plural, dude.
oh yeah, well, you know what I meant.
What do you got, sister wives?
I don't have wives.
Wait till Ruth Ann finds out.
Yeah,
I'm going to make sure she listens to this one, dude.
Just bring her into the
You know what I
wives.
meant. We all have wives and all that other good stuff.
Two's better than one.
Now listen to this. And then you hear about somebody driving, on heroin. I mean, honestly, how many guys do you think are out there doing that? I guarantee you there's,
I don't think
a
there's a lot.
shitload.
I think they're more on meth.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
it
that's
doesn't
even
matter.
worse.
They're on something. You know what I mean? And yeah, it probably is more meth to stay awake.
Alcohol,
actually,
too.
to maintain a heroin addiction on the road would be kind of hard because you're going to run out and then you're going to be spun out, looking for it, and you're not going to be able to drive.
There's probably a lot of
I don't think
alcohol.
there's a lot of people out there that do that.
A lot of alcohol out there, too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so.
Yeah, that's why the curtains are closed.
All right, guys, and the reason we wanted to bring Mr. Brownstone on here, and just being honest, it's really heaved a warning. I mean, his life, he's here to tell you, his life is ruined. Of course, it can all start over, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to work his way back into the industry. And without telling him the name, just tell him where I'm not here to make fun of you, honestly.
No.
Tell him where you're working. Where are you right now? What's your job?
I work at a Circle K right now.
Okay, as what? As
a cashier.
As a cashier.
Making minimum wage because I have to save up enough money to get my license reinstated because it was suspended because of not paying child support from losing my job. And then I got to pay the SAP program to get back on the road. So I'm a couple months out still.
And look, can we...
Circle K.
You mind me kind of quarterbacking it a little further? You just got here in Florida only a couple months ago because you were pretty much without a home up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, basically I was living out of my car when I had a car, and then when I didn't have a car anymore, I was pretty much homeless.
And you were doing well with your trucking
went...
company. You were making good money. You were telling me about bonuses. You were making fuel bonus. You were making safety bonuses, all that stuff. In your first year, you said you were making anywhere from $1,000 to $1,400, right?
Absolutely. Off of 21 cents a mile, making $1,500 roughly average take home.
With all your bonuses, you were doing everything the company wanted you to do. So we go back to a couple lines of heroin, coke, whatever, and next thing you know, your life is crap. In fact, I still don't get that. You knew you were about to take a drug screen. That tells me how powerful that drug is.
It really is.
It really is acid. Would you agree?
That on top
Absolutely.
of it, without going too in depth in it, I was going through a really difficult time at that point in my life.
I know.
I wasn't as smart as I can be. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
But
And I
Mr.
can admit
Brownstone,
that.
Mr. Brownstone, think about this. I understand problems, and I understand wanting to get high or wasted to forget about it for the day. I get that. Now, I'm serious, and a lot of people out there are probably going, yeah, man, I've gotten drunk so I can forget about my old lady leaving me or me getting into a fight, whatever. But here's what I don't understand.
I just was dumb.
The day you're pissing in a cup, you freaking shoot some shit into your arm or whatever you did. It's like...
I didn't necessarily know it was going to be that
Cody.
day. I didn't
I
know
thought
it
you
was
said
actually,
the day.
Yeah, it was the day, but I didn't know it was going to be the day because had I known it was going to be the day, I probably would have done things.
Oh, they surprised you. They ambushed you.
I went in, and they gave me my fuel card, and they said, "Oh, hey, by the way, on your way home, just stop here and piss in the cup." And
You
I
had
was
no
like,
choice. Wow.
Dude, you should have had the girl pee in the cup, or would it come up hot there too?
No, I wasn't trying to get all
you're
James.
pregnant.
I should have got all
You're
James
pregnant.
Bond, but the thing is that she was at work, and
Yeah.
Well, couldn't you
you have
just
a short window to get it done.
Don't they sell like fake piss or something?
But even
synthetic.
even so, though, this is really the only thing I keep, and I don't want to keep going back to it, but I do. But that drug has such a grip on you. You knew you were going for a local job. You knew any time you could be pissing in a cup, and it happened. I mean, honestly, that stuff stays in your system for what, 72 hours?
Yeah, I pretty much wanted to get caught.
It sounds like it really does.
I wanted to change my life, and something needed to happen, so I got a little careless, and actually it was the best thing that happened for me, because had I got that job and had as much money as I would have had coming in, I probably would have been worse than I was if I lost it. So there is a positive that I can take out of it and then apply it to the future.
and obviously you've learned from it, dude.
Yeah. Well, when you're ringing up people hot dogs at a Circle K from making $60,000 a year to $12,000 a year, there's a big difference.
You and I should go in for a hot dog.
You should.
Do me a favor.
Buy one, get one free.
Give me the address of this place, because the first thing I'm going to do is go there and complain about the smell and the crapper and watch you clean the toilet, dude.
You should, and watch me not do anything about it.
Poetic justice.
Yeah, that's true. We can complain about the attendant.
You should call in and say there's a
They're
guy
gonna
in there
do.
harassing you.
Hey, this attendant is a real asshole. He's real disrespectful.
I think he's on drugs, dude.
That's the
Give
thing,
him a-
though.
give him
You
a-
have to be
I
on
think
drugs. You
you
have to be
better-
on drugs to work.
I
there.
think you're
better
cashier's wasted, man.
You better give the cashier a random.
I would, yeah.
It's
hair follicle.
I mean, you're gonna let me handle money? That's not a good idea.
That's true. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna wrap it up. I think everybody gets the gist of this. Okay.
Don't be stupid.
Well, this is what I was gonna ask you. Do you want to give a little? Give you 30 seconds or a minute if you want to go ahead, give some final advice.
Basically, what I say is it takes years to build and seconds to destroy. So appreciate what you have and don't do stupid shit like me.
Hey, I like that.
Very profound, dude.
It takes years to build and seconds to destroy. And you know what? That's a cliche, man. We should put that on a freaking Hallmark. Acid, give it to me.
Yeah, he's right about that.
You always got some wisdom. Like, you got wisdom.
Sounds like my career here. Years to build, seconds to destroy.
Yeah, your career took years to build.
So here's my advice for you guys out there.
As high as an anthill.
First of all, take acid and stick to alcoholism.
Don't do drugs and drive. It's insanity. But if you're going to, make sure you have a bag of fake piss with you.
Yeah.
And carry it at all times because you never know when you might need it. That's my advice to you guys out there.
And take a heater with you, a Bunsen burner, because you'll need to heat it up.
No, you can insert it, and it's like an oven, dude. It'll keep it warm enough.
Where in the turkey oven? You're sick.
Just get a different addiction.
You're a sick ass.
Stick to lottery scratchers.
Hey man, let me just tell you, I was in the can, dude. That oven comes in handy once in a while.
I'm going to give you guys some advice on drugs and trucking. And you already know I'm going to say it doesn't mix. But here's recently we had interviewed somebody that said to us, I've got a problem. And he was going to get his CDL. But his statement to us was, but I'm not going to get my CDL until I get this problem fixed. He said, I'm not going to go ahead and get my CDL and then drive drunk. And I had a lot of respect for that. This guy said, I'm just going to stay at home, work a regular job, because he's basically saying, I'm going to screw it up if I get my CDL now. My thing to anybody out there, if you're doing heroin, you're doing any kind of drugs, reach out for help. Call us, send us a message. We'll try to help. I'll hook you up with Mr. Brownstone. He can give you advice for real. But my advice also is you got to self-monitor yourself. If you recognize that you're heading down that wrong road, just being honest, you guys need to truly, truly quit your job.
Get off the road.
Get off the road. I mean it. Get off the road. Get help. Get yourself under control and get back your confidence.
Your company will not fire you if you admit that you have a problem. Okay?
I would not.
Need help.
And just being honest with you.
They can't.
I would not go to my company and tell them I have a drug problem.
You want to go on a family medical leave of absence before you say
acid
anything.
is like got visions of acid.
Yeah,
he's on acid.
Unicorns and butterflies.
So I'm just saying, just being honest with you, I would just quit my job, put your notice in, go take a regular job, even if you go broke, because eventually this is what's going to happen to you. Here he is. He was in a car living in Pennsylvania, freezing his butt off, came down and had friends that took him in. He's working as a cashier. And if you don't think that can happen to you, trust me, get a random to where you lose your ass. And then guess what happens? You can't get that job back for many years. Most likely what's going to happen to this young man here, he's going to have to wait so many years. And then when he goes to get a job, they're going to say, where's your recent experience? And then that's what's going to kill him because the insurance companies won't pick him up. So then he's going to have to go back and be a student all over anyways. You guys can avoid that by recognizing where you're at in your life and pray. If you don't have the Lord, I say pray. Maybe you disagree, but I say pray. Acid, I'm going to wrap this thing up unless you got anything else stupid to say.
Don't do coke with hookers on the bus on the way to orientation. Wait till you get fired to do it on the bus ride home. That's my advice.
There it is. All right, we're out of here. Peace. Praise the Lord.
Right on, dude.
See ya.